You learn how to create skills, but do you know how to put them together in an agent? In this video, I will show you how to start with an empty folder in your drive and turn it into a working agent in Claude Code. All you need is the file you want to work and a skill that does the work. And if you like the skill that I show you on this video and you want to get access to it, I'll give access to the first 100 people that find the code in the whole video. You have to watch until the end. So let's get started. All right, to get started, I created a folder in my local driver and I placed here a general ledger, a simple general ledger. Let me open to show you. This is just a messy general ledger, the one that you probably already download from any ERP, SAP. It might change a little bit the looks, it doesn't matter. And then I have here the opening balances because it's important. I want to also have the balance sheet, so I needed the opening balance to complete the balance sheet. So that's all I have here, a simple file, nothing else. And I have here this skill pack. This is something I created. I created a skill that will get a general ledger and transform that into the 3 statements. Now, if you can use any skills that you want for this agent, the goal of this video is to show you how to create an agent. So you can use any skills that you want. You can even create your own skill or download any skill from the internet. But this skill pack, I'm going to show you how it works, how it's designed. And if you want to have access to it, watch the full video. I'm going to give a code. I'm going to give a few accesses to it. But let's get started. Well, I personally use VS Code to run Claude Code and to operate with my agents. You can use directly the Claude application. I just prefer better because here I can see the folders and I'm more familiar to it. But you're welcome to use the Claude application as well, the Claude desktop application as well. Just download VS Code, it's easy to find that, just Google it. And then you have to come here and install Claude for VS Code, that's the add-in. And if you don't have it installed yet, you're gonna have a button right here to install. You can install it and you can see right here after that, you're gonna have this icon right here to start an instance of Claude Code. I'm going to start now and close this one because I don't need it. So now I have here, I will open my folder that I just created. And you're going to see here exactly what I have there on that folder, the GL file and the skill pack. And whatever skill you want to put it there, it's fine. So what I'm going to do here, oh, it's close to my Claude Code. So let me just open here. And then I'm going to ask it to install this skill pack. Can you install the GL2 statements skill pack that I have here on this folder? Install it at project level, please. It doesn't hurt to say please. It already found it, so now it's reading it and it's going to install it. Now, notice that I said a project level. I want it to be installed just for this agent. Now, if this is something that I'm going to use for several agents, I might install this on global level. So I just had to ask to install it on global level. So it's asking me to approve the bash command, and I'm just giving authorization for it to extract everything. I put in the right place. So you notice here that it created a folder on this project level, and it has here all the skills. In this case, I just have one skill. It's called GL2 statement. That's what was packed in there. And it has the license and has a README if you want to understand better what this skill does and how to operate it. It has a few explanations right here. And the skill itself. So let's take a look at this skill before we try to run it. This is a skill I created to intake the data as general ledger and transform that into a 3-statement report. So it gets here, the first thing it does, it doesn't have any dependence. That's the first thing that I have to say. It can work better with some other skills that I have, but it doesn't have any dependency, which means it's not getting the data from the results of another skill. So the first thing it does, it identify what is the file type. Then it identify the columns, the column structure, how many accounts. It's going to check what is the period, it's going to identify the period, and then it's going to access, it's going to make like a test of the data quality. It's going to check for missing account numbers, for duplicate accounts, for unbalanced trial balance. That's very important. It's going to check the convention, the sign conventions, and intercompany accounts, statistical accounts, anything like that. It's going to flag it, and then it's going to bring to me, and I already put what is the format that I want to see this, a data quality assessment. It's going to tell me what is missing there, because I don't want it to run if the data is not good. If I just throw any GL, that it's not going to give me the 3 statements because maybe there is an imbalance, or maybe it's missing account numbers or something like that. I want it to stop, save my context tokens, and tell me what's wrong so I can give them the right file, the right extraction, the right GL. Once it does that, it will confirm the scope. It's going to ask me a few questions. Probably sometimes it doesn't even, depending on my prompt. It's going to start the classification engine. It will classify what is the statement, section, group, and line item. And it has a few rules right here that I have it already set up based on the SAP INTF convention. But that's something that you can change depending on your company. If you have something different, range of numbers of accounts, anything that you have specific for your company, that's where you change it. This is the fallback. Whenever we have an account that doesn't fall into those that I determine right here, it's going to have a fallback. So it's going to see keywords in the account name, and it's going to try its best to classify on the right place. It has rules for ambiguous accounts. So if some accounts are genuinely ambiguous, what to do with it. So flag it, suggest your best guess, but ask for confirmation. This is very important. Don't guess silently. I don't want AI doing things that I don't know about. So if it's something that doesn't make so much sense, don't guess. Just bring it to me and let me decide. So it requires confirmation, but it shows me the account name, my classification, which means what AI is bringing, what AI thinks it is, the confidence that it has on that classification, and an alternative. So I might say, okay, go for it, or I might say, no, go for the alternative, or I might bring something else that they probably are not aware. And then there's a way to generate this statement. I wanted to have a formula-based workbook. If you don't say anything on the skill, it's going to calculate with Python probably and just generate hard-coded numbers. I wanted to have a formula-based statements because I want to be able to track and audit. So that's why I wanted the formulas. Then what it does, it's going to copy the raw data into the source tab, and then it's going to generate a map based on the classification. Then it's going to write the formula using that map and apply the formatting. Then it has a few customization nodes. If I go for a different type of industries, it's going to be the revenue section, it's going to be subscription, professional services for SaaS, or if it's manufacturing, product sales by channel, if it's retail, store sales, it's going to change according to the industry. Here I have 5 of the most well-known industries, but you can just add another one. And then it also shows how I want it to be summarized versus the detail. So it has also the number convention on all of them. So you're going to see a template for cash flow, a template for balance sheet. I said that I wanted it to be calculated with formulas and not with Python with hard code numbers. However, if I just do the formulas, what happens is if I need to ask questions to my agent later, it's going to have a hard time to go back on Excel and find that number again. So what I designed it to do is it's going to also calculate everything with Python, and I have already the script right here. It's calculating everything, so it's easier to go back to it. If I ask questions, it's going to find it easily. And what happens is it's going to compare both and do a validation and reconciliation test. If it passes everything, it's going to save the file. If it doesn't pass, then it's going to tell me what's wrong, try to revalidate, try to find the problem. So it saves the script and it recalculates if something comes up wrong. So here we have the validation and reconciliation. That's how it's going to be checked. Those, if you see, those are the basic checks that we all do on our statements. Every time we run manually, those are the checks that we usually do. Trial balance balances, balance sheet balances, net income tying to the retained earnings, cash tying to the balance sheet. All accounts are mapped, no accounts missing, no double counting. So those are the basic checks that we all do. And then this is how it presents the validation summary. Now, every time we are going to create an agent, we need 5 things. We need a project, we need the skills, we need reference files, we need to determine what is the style that we wanted to use, we want to follow, and we need the tools to connect to whatever tools that we have. In this case, we're going to use Excel, so I don't need to install any other tools. But the skills I already installed, as you saw, but I still need a project. So I need a project for this agent so it knows what to do and it has a general context. I could just create a project, a Claude MD project, but I'm going to use a command called init. And when I do this, let me just open my Claude code right here. It's going to create a project for me. So now it's going. It's processing, and it's going to read everything that I have here. What are the skills? What are the files that I have? And it's going to guess what kind of project I have. I could later on go in and edit this project and create more context, create more things. But it's a best practice to start with init. So once it does here, it's already creating right here this this Claude MG, so we can see it here. Let me see if I can open a little bit more. So it has here, I'm not gonna accept yet, I want to read a little bit. So it says here, this file provides guidance to Claude Code when working with this repository. So this is the FP&A workspace for testing static financial skill packs. That's because this is the place that I'm testing all of the skill packs, but it could be another type of folder, subfolder, and then it would probably say something different here. And the primary workflow is transforming raw general ledger exports into presentation-ready financial statements using the GL to statement skill. So this is the skill that is installed on this space, the key files that are already here, and the architecture notes. So all of this is editable. So if I need to edit any of this or add more context to this project, I could do this on this file right here. So it's asking me if I'm allowing it to write this file, and I'm saying yes. So now I created the file, the Claude MD file, that's the project file, and you can see it right here, Claude MD. So whenever I need to consult or edit, it's right here. So now we have 3 elements, actually 2 elements, and a lot of other elements are inserted in the skills, and I'm going to show you right now. So first we have the project, then we have the skills, and then we also mentioned that we have to have reference files, what good looks like, and those are already in the skill because I'm already showing there how I want it to be, how I want it to be presented. And then I have the style also, which is the tone and how to do the signing conventions and whatever else I need to present with my style. And then the tools, which is how I am connecting to external tools. I don't need to install anything here because all this skill is going to use is Excel. But if I was preparing a skill, if I was preparing an agent to go directly on SAP or any other software and extract the DL from there, I would have to install the MCP either at global level, which is worth it for all of my agents, or at project level would work only on this agent. I like to run another instance because I don't want the context to be compromised. So let me just run another one, close this one, and I'm gonna ask it to run this skill. Can you transform this Precision MFG Q1 General Ledger into a 3-statement report using the skills that I have GL to statements in this project? I told him to use the skill, but I didn't have to. He would look for it and he would just find the skill, see if it matches with the task that I'm giving, and just use it. I was just over careful. Like I said, it gave me a data quality assessment, just the format that I asked it. Remember that I asked it in this format right here. So it gave me exactly that. It told me the source, the accounts, the period, everything that I needed to understand before I go on with this project, with this task. And then it has here a to-do list, what it's going to do. So I know every time he crosses something from the list, it's going to show the updated to-do list. And that's nice. It's nice to see the progress. Okay, so it has crossed a lot of the items. Now it's running the final script, the verification script, and then it's going to create the file for me, hopefully. So pass all statement cells or formulas except intentional zeros, and saved the file on the right place. So it's already here, but let me finish, let it finish first and tell me the final pass. Here, what it does, it brings the regular file, the source file, it just carries it over and places the raw data right here, and the opening balances as well. And then the account map, that's something that it creates with Python. So it's created right here, the account map. It finds all of the accounts that is on the source data and it maps accordingly. And then we have the income statement, the balance sheet, and we can see here that it's all balanced. And we have the cash flow, and we can do some checks as well. We have the net income 2205. 2205. Then we have the ending cash. Let me see. The ending cash 9311 doesn't match. It has a reconciliation here. This difference. Let me see if I see this in the validation. It's also finding this difference. So it has here the cash per the balance sheet, the cash per the cash flow statement, and it shows me exactly that it doesn't match. It fails. So this is something that I can go back there and ask why it fails, but it's flagging it, which is a good thing. It's not always going to be perfect. So we can go back, and you told me all validations passed, but the cash flow statement, the ending cash and the cash flow statement doesn't match exactly the cash in the balance sheet. Why is that? Let me see what it says. Good catch. You're right to call that out. A cash flow statement that doesn't tie to the balance sheet is a red flag. Let me trace through exactly what's missing. So it's giving me a little bit of results. Here's what was fixed. And he's telling me the checks now. And he says that it's saved on the folder. So let us check now. But before we go check, let me just tell you, if you think this skill might be something useful for you, you can try to get it with the link in the description below. Make sure you like and subscribe to this channel, and you can get with this code right here that is showing on the screen. And then it's not gonna be for everyone, it's going to be just for 100 people, so make sure you go fast. So okay, again, it does the source data, the opening balances, the account map, and then the income statement. Let me just check if the net income is what I'm expecting. 2205. And I go to the cash flow. It starts at 2205. That's perfect. Then the cash flow 10718. Let me go to the balance sheet. 10718. Perfect. So it seems like everything is passing the validation. Let me just check the folder validation. Yeah, trial balance, balance sheet balanced. Cash flow ties to the balance sheet. No unmapped DL accounts, total accounts here, income state accounts, balance sheet accounts. So perfectly well done. Of course, I would have to check again. I would have to check it item by item. I just do those quick checks to see the totals. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed. And if you did, please hit like, subscribe to this channel. If you want to see more of this agentic work in FP&A, this is the channel to follow. And it really helps me to know if this is the kind of content that you guys want to see. I'll see you in the next one.